I've got all these tools and I still am having trouble screwing down my new subfloor. All these different stud finders, got a nail gun just for the job, got the screw gun, got screws, and it is so hard to screw the subfloor down to the floor joists. You guys said get a stud finder, so I went and got some stud finders. All of these right here will not do the job. Just too thick. This guy might do the job. Let's test it out. It's the newest to the lineup. It says it will detect the stud or floor joist up to 1.7 inches. Let's try it. Well, Happy New Year. This is Sean with YouTube Pays My Mortgage. It's New Year's Day, 2024. This is going to be a good year. I feel it already. So New Year's Day around 4 o'clock, I came over here to put a few more screws in my new subfloor, screwing it down to the floor joists. The project or the part of screwing the new floor down has been just kind of a little bit here and there because that's good to work around my neighbor because it's low noise. It's also a project I can do bringing my dog over here. So just a couple screws here and there. And I figured right now I got a few hours to kill. I'll come put a few screws in, show you the techniques, show you the do's and the don'ts and everything I've learned about it. And, you know, if I put 10 screws in right now, then that's 10 more than it had yesterday. I'm trying to put one in every 6 inches on every joist, you know, so 16-inch joists and then every 6 inches on down. And I've had a heck of a time screwing them, putting screws in. I actually bought a nail gun. Well, let me show it. Let me show you everything. You guys said get a stud finder, and I agree. But that's easier said than done. Let me show you why. So this is what I did at first. So this portion of the room is all screwed down. I marked the floor joists before I put the wood down. You can see I got a mark here and I've got a mark here. And then I have a mark on the other side. And then I stretched out a chalk line, which you can see the chalk lines in the floor. And then I measured every 6 inches. And then I bought this nail gun just for this floor job. But the problem is that the floor joists kind of go like a snake. And after I shot about 10 nails, I went underneath the house and noticed that like 9 of them missed. So then it was like, dang, you know, back to the drawing board. So I decided to use screws. And I got these big 2.5-inch deck mate screws. And they ended up not being long enough because I've got 3/4-inch subfloor down and 1/2-inch plywood underneath it. You know, so there's 1.25 inches right there. And if there's a little bit of air in between before the screw sucks it down, then you don't have much of a screw. So you guys said, get a stud finder. And I agree. So I had some stud finders. Let me tell you about each one of these. All right, so here's some stud finders. Now, I'm not a carpenter. I've never done a home renovation before, you know, but I can do this stuff. So this stud finder, I think I had in my junk drawer at home for who knows how long. And when I got this, I didn't even know what a stud finder did. I thought it picked up the screws or nails in the studs like it, you know, detected metal, like a big magnet. No, they test the density of the wood or the floor or whatever, you know, the thicker part is what it determines, what it picks up. So this guy barely works through drywall. I got this one from somewhere, and this one does work on drywall fairly well. As you're moving it around, the little lights will light up. And, you know, this one worked a little bit. But then I learned that there's a difference in stud finders, that some will find the center of the stud and others will find the edge of the stud. So when I thought I was finding the center, I was actually finding the edge sometimes. So then since I'm a Ryobi fanboy, I got this guy. I had to take off the felt backing or something so it would actually slide here. And it was giving me false readings everywhere. So then I went on Amazon and I picked up this guy. And it specifically said for subfloors and floor joists, and had 4 different detection modes, and it went 1.5 inches deep. I said, all right, that'll work. Nope, that was giving all kinds of false readings. So I ended up with this one. This one is it goes 1.7 inches deep. This is the deepest one that I've found. It's called Franklin Sensors, and it's the easiest to use. There's no calibration or anything. Like this one, you had to place it on the wall, press the button until it beeped, and then you had to test it somewhere where you knew it would work, and it was kind of a pain. But this guy, no calibration, you just press the button and start working. So let's try it right here where I know the floor joists are, and let's see how accurate it is. Let me get you dialed in here, guys. Okay, so let's test out this latest stud finder. This floor is done, so I know that it's screwed into the floor joists. So right here is a screw into the joist, and the joist runs this way. Right here is a screw into the joist. So let's try this stud finder here. Right in the center, it'll light up red LEDs right here when it should be on the floor joist. So you just press the button like that and get to work. Right now it's supposedly showing that there's a joist over here and a joist over there. We'll go to your right, my left. And let's see if it finds the joist. And according to this stud finder, it's right on the joist. And you can see the lights moving as it's getting closer to the joist. Now let's go over here to my right. They said it's very important to only touch the button and this other back part right here, not to touch anything else. So there it is, lit up on the joist. You can see the lights moving as it's leaving that joist. Right now it's confused and thinking. Now you see the lights lighting up as it's getting closer to the other joist. And that's pretty good, because that's where my screw is. Let's try this one here. This was the one I had before the other one. I'm going to set it on 1.5 inches, and it says to put it in a spot where there's no floor joist that you somehow you know already, and hold the button down until it calibrates. All right, it just calibrated. So now you should be able to move it around and try to find your floor joist. So we know where it's at. It's right here. The arrow's telling me to keep moving it. And right now we're on top of the joist. And it's actually working. Probably because it's already screwed down. Before the screws were in, the floor was floating. So now let's go to this side here. If it pops up and down, it's going to get bad readings. You got to keep it down. And it's not seeing this one at all. All right, we're going to try to put in a couple screws in my subfloor, and I'll just show you guys how I figured it out. And well, I figured out the best way that I can do it with the help of you guys saying get a stud finder. It's a little tricky to learn how the stud finders work and so on, but okay. So this yardstick right here, this is our row that we need to do. Don't pay attention to this black line. That was a rookie mistake. I could have lined these boards up with the floor joists by using the factory painted black lines, but hey, I'm a rookie. So I've already done this row right here. We need to do one more here. every 6 inches. I've been using the yardstick just to kind of mark every 6 inches. And then I've got my silicone to plug up my holes that I miss, my misses. So the next one, 6 inches on down, is about right here. I've got a little laser I've been using also. So let's turn on the stud finder and see if it finds the stud, the center of it, right in this area. Squeezing it. You can follow the red light and it'll kind of show the edge of the floor joist. Coming up on it, coming up on it. And now the ones in the center lit up. Let's do it again just to verify. If this thing gets lifted up in the air, you need to start over because we get a false reading for sure. Like those are some false readings. We'll try it again here. All 3 in the center lit up right around that area. Try it again. Try to keep it from coming off the ground, and you got to hold it in such a way that you're not. It says you need to hold it, right where I am. Anywhere else could affect the sensor. So you see how these lit up? So we're coming up on it. Starting to cross over the top of it. Should be right there. Right about where that red mark is. A red line that I think I put there. So I know it's right there, but what I've been doing is I've been taking this laser and I've been running it across the top of a couple that I've gotten right so far. Now, according to this laser, it's way over here, and our stud finder said it was right around this area. Let's check it again here. So the stud finder says the center is right here, where my finger is. We're going to put a screw right where the stud finder says it is, and the laser is off. So we're going to go with the stud finder because the studs go like a snake. And I got a little countersink drill bit first. I've just been hitting it like that a little bit. And then we'll try the 2.5 inch screw. Sometimes I got to put the longer one in. And I could feel that one going.